Hello everyone and welcome to another video from the Chess Guy. Now before you start this video, make sure to like, subscribe and comment for a chance to win a free shout out on here. Also don't forget to like the like button again. It already helped me and I'll know what videos you like most and I'll make new ones. So I'm going to show you the top 4 most chess traps for me. A lot of you might have different opinions, so make sure to tell me down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe too. So, the number 4 I'm going to show you is the Blackburn shilling trap, which is actually for black. So white plays e4, e5, knight c3, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, the Italian game. Most players play this. Now in the Blackburn shilling trap, you actually play knight to d5. Now if you don't know this trap, a lot of you might actually take the pawn, thinking black just blundered a piece. But that's not good for white. So the best move for white is to take, because then after that, this is kind of a beginner's trap, but it's still useful, unlike players to 1500 rating. So if you're playing against a candidate master, don't try this, because they'll obviously know this. Now, if the person doesn't know this trap, they'll take the pawn, thinking black just blundered a piece. Now you play queen g5. Obviously, it's a double attack, threatening to take the pawn as well as the knight. And again, if white's a beginner, white might think of taking the pawn in f7, because then it's still a fork like that, see? That's actually a blunder, because then you take the pawn on g2. Again, that might not seem like a very aggressive move, and it's just winning you a pawn. But actually, if white doesn't want to lose this rook, it has to play to f1. Still, you're going to lose the game like that. Because now, white wasn't expecting black to take this pawn, and now black takes the pawn in e4. It's a check. The only move possible is for that, even though the knight's going to take it, that's the best move. Other players might play this, thinking it's fine, because the queen is saved and it's stopping the check. For example, if takes, white will still be winning a bit, but it's not as important as the queen. Actually, the correct move is to play knight f3. Obviously, the white bishop can't take because of the pin. Very handy trap. So thank you. Now the third trap I'm going to show you is a fried liver for white. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. Now in this position I usually play this, but I play the Sicilian, which I'm going to make another video very soon. Stay tuned. So then, usually black would play that, obviously attacking on this pawn. A lot of you might think to castle. That's also not a bad move. But in the fried liver, you play knight g5, a very aggressive move. Obviously, it's threatening to, as you can see, fork, take the pawn. Obviously, white can't do it on this side, too, because there's a lot of defenders here. And since the queen, nor the queen, knight, bishop is protecting it, the only move for white to defend it's not that, because then you'll just take. Or maybe like that. Yeah, I think that's the best move here. Sorry. Anyway, the best move for white is obviously to play d5. Again, now white can't take, because then after that, white will be losing by a piece. Now if you just take that, then you take that, then you take that, white queen will take that, so white will be losing again. So that the best move is to take the pawn on here. Now, a lot of players who are beginners might think that they should take, since it's also making a discovered attack on this knight, also taking a pawn. Actually, that's not a very good move, because then the knight makes a really beautiful sacrifice, sacrificing the knight and taking the pawn on f7. Obviously it's a fork, so black must take. Now you play queen f3. As you can see, it's another fork. There are two pieces attacking this, and one piece defending it. Now, white might think to play e8, king e8, then you'll take. And usually a lot of players might play that, not noticing the checkmate like here. So that's also a pretty good trap. Now, if they play here, you'll play here. Now, the black king can't move, because then you'll take that and then you'll be off a piece. And black's king is in the center. Lots of his pieces aren't developed, so it's obviously a winning game for white. Now, the third trap I'm going to show you is the legal trap. It's very handy, actually. I'll show you why. After there, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, sorry, d6. It's not a very good move. In theory, it's supposed to be better to bring your knights out first. Plus, it's stopping that bishop to playing here. So the best move for black will be fianchetto, which means g6, or maybe even that, and then bring the bishop to g7, and then you castle, usually. So then you play knight c3, and now the bishop goes to g4, obviously threatening. Well, there's a pin, so white can't really move the knight anywhere. The correct move in this line is h3. After the bishop goes here, the best move is to actually take, and then you take. But also a threatening checkmate, but still black could play there. It's a fairly even game. Now, if black is pretty greedy and white want to keep the pin, it might go to h5. Now, you take the pawn on h5. It's really cool, because black might think, oh, look, you forgot. His queen might take. Then it's important not to take with that. It's important to give a check. The only move is to go to e7, and then there. So it's checkmate. Black king can't move anywhere. So, I'm going to show you what happens if, after they're there, black might notice the checkmate. So it might take with the knight. Then you take there, and then takes the bishop. But then there, it's a double attack, which is also called a fork. So after c3, take that, and then you'll be up a pawn. And look at black's pieces. They're not even developed at all. So yeah, again, it's a pretty winning position for black. Now I'm going to show you another trap called the Tennyson Gambit, which is my favorite trap of all time. D4, oh, sorry, that's not it. So you play E4, D5. Obviously, if white takes that, I don't really like this position, because then white will be developing his pieces while making sure that the queen will have to move, not developing the pieces. For example, the knight can't go to there or there, because then you'll just take the queen. And in this trap, you play knight f3, which is strange, and black will probably take that. Now the important move in this trap is to play knight g5. Now obviously threatening to take the pawn. I guess there are 3 options on how to defend it. Sorry, 2. 2 best options. f4 or knight f6. f4 isn't a very good move. It exposes the king and everything, and now this place comes weak. So the best move for black is to develop a piece while protecting the pawn. Knight f6, obviously protecting the pawn again. Now in this position you play d3. Now black will probably take, obviously, because black's a pawn up, and it's better to trade when you're in a better position. Now it's important not to take with the queen or the pawn. You have to take with the bishop. Now black's coming uneasy for this knight, and he might play h6 in this position. Most players do, because then after that they could develop their pieces afterwards. Well, this is no longer a threat. That's a terrible move, because then you take the pawn on f7. Again, a sacrifice. Obviously, the black king must take, or lose his rook or queen. After it takes, bam, bishop g6. Another sacrifice, a very good one too. Obviously, the black queen is under attack, so that's bad for black. And king can't go back to e8 to defend the queen because of the bishop on g6. So if black at least wants to win a bishop, he'll take it. Then you take the queen on d8. Again, probably white's going to win this. Mostly, yeah. So, thank you so much for listening to this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Bye.